much have you thought about this game? Does this game mean something to you, getting a chance to be on the same field as him?
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be fun. I haven't seen him in a while, so looking forward to that. But at the same time, just being able to, it's kind of special just being able to, be on the same field, opposing teams, and just play against him is obviously special.
You two obviously became close. Did you know him before Oklahoma, and how did that kind of relationship develop?
Nah, I met him. My first time meeting him was when I transferred to OU. He messaged me when he found out I was coming to OU. I think it was shortly after they lost to Clemson in the playoffs. So he hit me up shortly after that, and ever since, we were with each other for like 3 years. So.
Did you guys connect immediately?
Yeah. When I got there, it was he was really welcoming, and then ever since we just kind of been boys since.
He said today about it's important for bragging rights between the two of you. Did that mean? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure.
Any side bets on this one?
No side bets.
Why do you think you two become so close and get off so well?
I think just him being from Texas, just kind of both understand the background and what we stand for, the competitiveness, and just obviously when you're with somebody, as many days that we were with each other, it's you just kind of get close with each other. So I think that's just what happened.
What do you guys personality-wise seem very different? Especially the way maybe you lead a team and everything. Or are you just different? Did you learn anything from him in the years?
I learned what not to do. I always got to sit back and just watch, and it was, I'd give him stuff for it in the behind the scenes, and we all would. But to the public, obviously he's kind of a, rebellious guy. But no, he's a great dude. I look forward to playing against him on Sunday.
Is there a lot of good-natured competition between the two of you while you were there?
Yeah. Just throughout practice, he's a couple years older than me, so he's had a lot of experience. And then me coming in, my freshman or redshirt freshman year, I got to sit behind him and just obviously compete with him every day, learn from him, and I think it was good for me.
Would you ever rate him that you were better at certain things?
Yeah.
Anything specific?
Just throughout practice all the time. Yeah, it was just back and forth. He knows it.
Was it hard? You hadn't been a backup for a long time. Mm-hmm. 2017 when you were. Was that a weird situation for you?
What year was that?
You threw like 21 passes.
Okay, yeah. That was, I transferred there, thinking he had 1 year and then he was gonna be gone, and then he got his year back, so I had to sit again, and it was what it was. Obviously any competitor, anybody that loves the game of football wants to be out there and play, but at that point I really couldn't do anything about it. He earned that right, and I just had to make the most of my opportunities, and I think we turned out fine. So
what was it like sharing all the commercials with him?
That was good. He's all right. Yeah.
Do you think in some ways that Baker, I know other quarterbacks too, but kind of helped pave the way for you to be the number one pick? Because he's kind of an undersized guy in the Oklahoma system, and they took him number one, so it gave confidence to the Cardinals that you would work out too?
I think the game's evolved. He was a part of that. I think a lot of other shorter guys, mobile guys, were a part of that, obviously. But I think just me learning from him, Coach Riley, being in the system, learning how to play the position, at the collegiate level, I think all that had to do with me having success.
I'm guessing you were a pretty confident quarterback by the time you got to Oklahoma. Is there anything about the game that he helped you with when you got there?
To be honest, I think just watching him, behind the scenes, and on Saturdays, just how he operated on the collegiate level. Like I said, I was pretty good at the high school level, but it's a different game. Once you get up to another level, same thing for this level. You just got to keep going up, and watching him do it on that level helped me out.
What did you notice about how he handled himself on you?
I think the confidence. Everything that everyone knows. It's nothing different. Once you just, there's a natural feel for just watching somebody, and then, kind of, doing your own thing at the same time. But also getting all those reps in practice and stuff like that. So I think it all just kind of tied into. Yeah.
How much did watching him do things that you said you learned what not to do? How much did it kind of help you prepare for this?
I mean, we're obviously we're a little different in those aspects, but I would never do some of the stuff that he's done. But no, that's my boy. So it's he knows that, and I just let him do those things, and we just laugh at him. So.
Was it tempting when you're learning from him that, like, oh, I've got to be a little more demonstrative, or was it just like, no, we're just two different people?
Nah. I mean, everybody has their own way of doing things. He's a great teammate, great leader. Everybody around the building felt that. So when it was my opportunity, we just, I lead how I lead, he leads how he leads. So.
There's some Oklahoma fans who aren't necessarily fans of either team coming to the stadium just to see you guys play. What will it be like for that, having college fans follow you guys for this?
I mean, I think it'll be fun. Obviously, we represent OU proudly, so to have everybody support us is a great deal.
How often do the two of you communicate, text?
I talked to him watching the Big 12 championship game. That was the last time we talked.
What, aside from Baker for a moment, Steve Wilkes is their defensive coordinator. He was a guy, obviously, who was here last year. Do you get a chance to talk to any of the defensive players who are around, maybe getting any hints over what you might see this weekend?
No. No, it's
Are you nervous in front of that fan?
No.
You were correct on your prediction a few weeks ago. We'll use it in the Final Four.
What did I say?
You said we're always about.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how that happens. I don't know, but yeah, we're in, so that's all that matters.
Cliff said that he was going to make a pitch to Larry to try to get him to come back for his 17th season.
That has nothing to do with me.
You didn't even hear the question.
I was just going to ask you, would you make a pitch to Larry? If so, what would you tell him?
Like I said, that has nothing to do with me.
Too much respect for him to kind of do that?
Yeah, I mean, Larry. Obviously, everybody loves Larry. I mean, like I said, I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So Larry makes his decisions.
What did you learn from the second half of that game this past weekend? I mean, just some decisions you'd like to have back, or is there something bigger you can take from it?
I think just like I said, not trying to do too much. Play my game and just let it all fall. Where it may, because I mean I've past 2 weeks turned the ball over more than I ever really have. So just really not trying to do too much, letting the game come to myself, and just kind of like I said, being myself and letting it come to me.
Connor, when you look at this matchup, you and Baker, you guys both trophy winners. What does that say about the Oklahoma program and the type of product you think you have?
Represent hard work, dedication, resiliency, everything that you want in the program. OU is the best thing that probably could have ever happened to me, just because, like I said, when I went there, it was just everybody from top down, they do it the right way. And I think that shows, throughout the years. They've always had success. So
Here's the big question: who's the better quarterback?
I'm not going to answer that one.
Thanks, Kyler.
You coach Baker and Kyler. In what ways are they similar and in what ways are they different? Not just football-wise, but also personality-wise.
Yeah, very competitive. Obviously, it starts there. I mean, both are winners, have been winners their entire life, hate to lose at anything. And Kyler's more of an introvert than Baker, but both effective leaders in their own right.
What's the story of you finding Baker, recruiting him? Like, was he highly recruited at the time?
No, he didn't have many offers. I think he ended up having one, but you could see very talented. We already had a quarterback committed, but really liked what we saw and continued to recruit him and stay on him, and felt like he could play at a high level, and it worked out.
What's your relationship with Baker like now?
It's been good. Saw him at the Kentucky Derby and spoke, and he knows how I feel about him as a player, as a person, has for a number of years.
Knowing how competitive they are, how do you think they'll take Sunday's game?
They'll be fired up for this one. There's no doubt. They'll both be ready to rock.
You've had a lot of games this season with connections from guys from college, but with
Baker's double connection with you and Kyler? Is this one any more significant?
I don't think so. I mean, anytime there's a guy that I've been fortunate enough to be around or work with, you're always pulling for those guys any other week until you play them, and then you still want to see them, have success and come out of it healthy.
Baker, go ahead. Yeah.
Is that something that'll be weird a few years down the road when you don't know these guys from college? You'll obviously know people from the NFL, but have you thought about that at all?
Not really. I'm sure. I mean, it'll get more and more distant as this thing goes on, but it's fun now to see guys that you had a relationship with previously to have success and watch, kind of how their careers go.
Baker obviously was unhappy with some things when he left Texas Tech and went. Have you guys had a chance to talk things out and kind of smooth things over?
We've talked, yeah. We've talked. Like I said, we're in a good place, and always excited to see how he's playing and his career and what he's done. Being at ground zero of that deal and where it started to where it is now is phenomenal, and you got to give him all the credit in the world. Every level he goes to, he continues to excel and prove people wrong.
Knowing both quarterbacks like you do, what do you think that Oklahoma quarterback room was like in 2007?
Probably pretty tense, yeah. Probably pretty tense. I can imagine if a ball touched the ground in practice, they were probably talking trash to each other. I mean, that's kind of how they both are perfectionists and expect to be great, and so that was probably a pretty fun room to be in.
Is there any chance Baker got Kyler to talk a little more?
Possibly, yeah, possibly. He's pretty good at bringing that out in people.
Is this one of those games where you kind of need to tell Kyler, just play in the system, play your role, because he might want to do a little more to prove to Baker, just show that he has he's better.
I'm not sure specifically if this game, but just overall, like I talked about, I feel like he's been pressing a little bit, trying to win games with every throw at times, and he understands, hey, play within the system. So I don't think that's added this week. I just think that's kind of where we needed to be headed anyways. Do your job and execute at a high level, and let's get back in rhythm.
I know you watch the defense, but what do you think of the Browns' overall offense and defense?
Yeah, really talented. Offensively, you look at the weapons. The two running backs are as good as anybody in the league. Dynamic tight ends, they can stretch the field. I mean, two of the top wide receivers, do a nice job with their scheme. So they're loaded and have two huge wins over Baltimore and Buffalo, who are two of the top teams in the league. So you can see any given day they can play with anybody.
See what they're doing with Kareem Hunt? Is that kind of different?
They're finding ways to get him on the field, and I think that's he can do it all, and they're using him in that way. But both those backs, when they touch the ball, are very dangerous.
As the defense has struggled during games, have you had any more of a role on that side of the ball, or does play calling and all that stuff you have to kind of stay in your lane during games?
Yeah, I mean, we have interactions throughout the game. I'm not calling defenses to that extent, not hopping and say run this, run that, but yeah, I mean, you're always checking on things and seeing where it stands.
A lot of Browns tape this year, so maybe you're just looking at what they're doing defensively, but Wilkes was here last year. Do you look at any Cardinals film from 2018?
Just talking to guys that were here and are familiar with that scheme and watching some cut-ups and things that they did here last year. Yeah, definitely trying to get as good a feel for what they're doing as we can.
What do you make of the O-line in general, how they've done this year?
I think that they've come together as a group. I mean, we've had some real positives. The sack number is higher than we like, but I think we've all talked about a lot of it has to do with a young quarterback trying to make a ton of plays and probably taking some that weren't necessary at times. But I like how they play together. I like what they bring to the field every Sunday, and they've given us a chance to win most of the games.
What do you think Sunday's game will do for David Johnson's mentality, his confidence?
Yeah, he's been confident. I just he knows what he can be when he's playing at a high level, and I think everybody else does. And we just got to keep him rolling and keep him in a groove. And when he had a chance to make plays, he made them on Sunday.
You watch a lot of film. Have you seen or figured out why he wasn't playing at that level?
I haven't had a chance to really go back and look at that. We've just been focused on moving forward and everybody playing at a higher level. Yeah.
David kind of tweeted out a mysterious message yesterday about enemies wanting to see him fail. Do you ever feel a need to talk to a player when he does something like that, or have you talked to David about that to see where his head is at?
Yeah, I'm not really on Twitter, so what was do you have the exact quote for me?
I can look it up. It's something about enemies wanting to see him fail. It was quoting something.
Yeah, I don't.
Down for anybody. He's going to show everybody that kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I think y'all may be butchering it a little bit on the actual message.
Surrounding the enemies,
I know they're praying for my downfall. They really want to see the end of me. No, I won't fold. I'ma stand tall.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It sounds like a song lyric. So, yeah, I'm not sure. That's the first time I've heard of that one, but it sounds like a song lyric to me. So,
What can Larry Fitzgerald do for this team if he stays around another year or whatever he wants? Can he still be a productive player for you, this offense?
definitely. I mean, you see what he's done every week, and that's, with a young quarterback, with an offense that's still learning how to play in the system. I mean, he's as productive a player as we've had on this offense week in, week out, reliability and catching the football. Yeah, he's still a huge weapon for us, and I don't see that changing.
You surprised at that because of the age he's going to be, that you
I definitely have been surprised, just coming in, not knowing what to expect, but how well he's moved, how well he's practiced during the week, how healthy he's been, and then just the production on the field of the ball. Even gets close to him, he makes the catch. And for a young quarterback, that's a real safety net. Just get it close, and he'll make a play for you.
When it comes to his plans, you just give him space.
I'll give him my pitch here in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Is Cleveland a tough team to scout for just because they're sort of volatile when their results are up and down and different things like that? What's it been like watching them?
It's not difficult to scout simply because you can show your team, those two big wins that they had where it's like they look as dominant as any team in the league when you're talking about the Baltimore and Buffalo games. And so you point to those and say, this is what they can be, and so we better prepare for that. So I wouldn't say it's difficult. I think you always prepare for their high end, and when they're playing like that, they're as talented and as good as anybody in the league.
I'm guessing I know the answer to this question, but what will your pitch to Larry be?
That'll be between us, yeah.
Kind of getting back to your relationship with Baker, like you said, you guys talked it out here in a pretty good place. Now, did you learn anything from that, just year of how to communicate with backups or when a guy gets injured, or did that change?
I think you're always learning, you're always evolving. I mean, obviously I'd like to have had that gone differently and handled things differently, and that you live and you learn. And I'm just glad we're in a good place now. And like I said, any of those guys I've ever worked with, I want to be successful, and I appreciate the work that I was able to do with them.
We make your pitch to Larry at the exit interview, or is it before that or after that? Like, what's?
Yeah, I mean, just in the next couple of weeks before he heads to Australia or Europe or wherever he off seasons at. Yeah.
More remote.
Yeah, no question. Y'all won't be able to find him to ask him yourselves. I know that.
You lost a lot of guys off the defensive line, even dating back to training camp. Is that a big challenge when it seems like it's the same position group over and over?
It can be, but this year the guys that have stepped in have done a nice job. I mean, finding a way to compete, and Coach Kugler's done a tremendous job stepping in and getting those guys ready to go.
How's Terrell Suggs done as far as meeting what you guys expected when you brought him in?
He's been fantastic. I mean, the professionalism, the way he works, attention to detail, just for those young players to see. We couldn't ask for anything more. And Hall of Fame player in your locker room, it's been great.
Have you gotten the push up front on the defensive line that you wanted this year?
That's hard to say. It's been a group that's been in and out. Had some key pieces early we thought we'd have that we didn't have, and so I've been impressed with how they've gotten better throughout the year, and particularly against the run. Early, we're having our struggles against the run, and they've really, been better in that area.
When you get that, the push you want up front, what does it do for the guys coming off the edge?
It helps, when that quarterback doesn't have anywhere to step up. There's no doubt, and helps everything back in. Doesn't have to cover as long, and so that's an area that we'll continue to try and improve at.
What was thought to moving Suggs inside a little bit more to try to get Reddick on the field in those pass rush situations?
Yeah, there is. We're working through some things there. We want to see, where Hassan's at, like some flashes that he's shown in practice and in the game, and we'll continue to get him going.
When you're game planning and in the season, how much time do you get to appreciate a quarterback matchup like this?
None. I appreciate the fact that, both those guys, Texas quarterbacks that I've followed and know, and it's exciting for them and their families and that in that regard. But other than that, it's just getting ready for the game.